Welcome back to Family Dynamics Revenge Stories, Whispers of the Empire, Beauty's Triumph, the city of New York, a sprawling metropolis of glass and steel, where dreams were forged in the fires of ambition and shattered on the rocks of reality, was a place of endless contrasts. In the heart of Midtown Manhattan, amid the cacophony of honking taxis and the rush of pedestrians, stood a small cafe named Brew Haven. It was an unassuming spot, with mismatched chairs, chalkboard menus advertising overpriced lattes, and a constant hum of conversation. Behind the counter worked Sophia Rivera, a young woman whose beauty turned heads even in a city jaded by glamour. Sophia was 24, with skin like polished bronze, inherited from her Puerto Rican mother, and eyes that sparkled with the depth of the Atlantic. Her hair, a cascade of dark waves, was often tied back in a practical ponytail as she steamed milk and pulled espresso shots. She had grown up in the Bronx, in a cramped apartment where the walls echoed with the sounds of her mother's sewing machine. Her father had left when she was 5, and her mother, Elena, had raised her alone, working tirelessly to provide. Sophia had dreams of her own. She wanted to be an artist, to capture the soul of the city on canvas. But for now, survival meant slinging coffee from 6 a.m. to 2 p.m., then waitressing at a diner in the evenings. It was on a crisp October morning that Ethan Harrington first walked into Brew Haven. Ethan was the epitome of privilege. At 26, he was tall and broad-shouldered, with a jawline that could cut glass and hair the color of polished chestnut. He wore a tailored suit that cost more than Sophia's monthly rent, and his watch, a Rolex, glinted under the cafe's fluorescent lights. Ethan was the heir to the Harrington Real Estate Group, a family empire that owned swaths of Manhattan's skyline. His father, Reginald Harrington, was a ruthless tycoon who had built the company from a single brownstone in the 1970s to a multi-billion-dollar conglomerate. His mother, Victoria, was a socialite known for her charity balls and her iron grip on the family's reputation. Ethan wasn't there for the coffee. He had been walking to a meeting when he caught sight of Sophia through the window. Her smile, as she handed a customer their order, stopped him in his tracks. It was a smile that lit up the dingy cafe, pure and untainted by the cynicism that permeated his world. He entered on impulse, ordering a black coffee he had no intention of drinking. "Busy day?" he asked, leaning on the counter. Sophia glanced up, her green eyes meeting his blue ones. "Always is in this city," she replied with a laugh, her voice carrying a faint Bronx accent that she tried to soften. Ethan was smitten. He returned the next day, and the day after that. Conversations flowed about the city's hidden gems, her love for street art, his frustration with boardroom politics. Ethan was drawn to her beauty, yes, but also to her authenticity, a rarity in his circle of trust fund kids and social climbers. Sophia was wary at first. Men like Ethan, rich, handsome, entitled, had approached her before, seeing her as a conquest. But Ethan seemed different. He listened. He remembered details like her favorite artist, Basquiat, and he didn't flaunt his wealth overtly. After a month, he asked her out. Their first date was at a rooftop restaurant overlooking Times Square, where the lights danced like stars. Sophia felt out of place in her thrift store dress, but Ethan made her feel like the center of the universe. "You're the most beautiful woman I've ever seen," he whispered, and for the first time, she believed it might be more than her looks. Their romance blossomed quickly. Weekends in the Hamptons, private tours of the Met, gifts of art supplies that Sophia had only dreamed of. Ethan confessed his love under the Brooklyn Bridge, the city lights reflecting in the East River. "Marry me, Sophia. I can't imagine life without you." Sophia, swept up in the fairy tale, said yes. But she knew the storm was coming. Ethan's family. The family's shadow. The Harrington family penthouse was a monument to wealth, perched atop a Fifth Avenue building with views that stretched to the horizon. The interior was a blend of modern minimalism and old-world opulence. Marble floors, crystal chandeliers, original Warhols on the walls. It was here that Ethan brought Sophia to meet his parents formally, a diamond ring sparkling on her finger. Victoria Harrington, 55 but looking 40 thanks to the best surgeons money could buy, greeted them with a frosty smile. She was dressed in a silk blouse and pearls, her blonde hair perfectly coiffed. Reginald, 60, sat in a leather armchair, a glass of scotch in hand, his face etched with lines from decades of deals. Marcus, Ethan's older brother at 30, and Eliza, his sister at 24, were also present, lounging on the sofa with glasses of wine. The dinner was tense from the start. Victoria's eyes appraised Sophia like a piece of art at auction. "So, Sophia, tell us about yourself," she said, her British accent, from her boarding school days, adding a layer of superiority. Sophia, in a simple black dress, spoke of her life in the Bronx, her mother's hard work, her own jobs. The room fell silent. Reginald cleared his throat. "A barista? Interesting. Our family has certain expectations." Victoria chimed in. "Beauty is fleeting, dear. What else do you bring to the table?" Ethan defended her. "I love her. That's what matters." But the Harringtons were unmoved. After Sophia left, the family confronted Ethan. "She's not one of us," Victoria hissed. "A poor girl from the Bronx? Think of the scandal." Reginald was blunter. "She's after the money. End it or you're cut off." Marcus laughed. "Bro, she's hot, but not wife material." Eliza rolled her eyes. "She'll drag our name through the mud." Ethan ignored them. The wedding was small, but beautiful. A ceremony in Central Park with cherry blossoms in bloom. Sophia's mother cried tears of joy, while the Harringtons refused to attend, sending a curt card, "We do not approve." The couple honeymooned in the Maldives, but upon return, the sabotage began. Victoria started with social warfare. She whispered to her circle at galas, "Ethan's married a gold digger. Poor boy, dazzled by looks." Stories appeared in gossip columns. Harrington heir weds Bronx beauty, family furious. Reginald froze Ethan's access to family funds, forcing him to live on his salary alone. "Prove you can support her without us," he said. Marcus and Eliza joined the fray. At a family brunch Ethan dragged Sophia to. Eliza accidentally spilled red wine on Sophia's dress. "Oh, sorry, darling. That fabric looks cheap anyway." Marcus cornered Ethan. "Dump her, or say goodbye to your position in the company." Sophia felt the weight. "They hate me because I'm poor," she told Ethan, tears in her eyes. Ethan reassured her, but his resolve weakened under pressure. Arguments ensued. "My family has a point, Sophia. Maybe tone down the Bronx accent at events." The pregnancy and escalation 6 months into the marriage, Sophia discovered she was pregnant. Overjoyed, she imagined it would bridge the gap. A grandchild might soften them, she hoped. But when Ethan told his family, Victoria's response was cold. "A child from her? It'll be a liability." Reginald offered money for an abortion. "We can't have that bloodline tainted." Sophia was horrified. The family ramped up their efforts. They hired a private investigator to prove Sophia's unfitness. Fabricated reports claimed she had a shady past. Old photos from her waitressing days doctored to suggest impropriety. Victoria confronted Sophia at a forced lunch. "You're not mother material. Leave now or we'll make your life hell." The sabotage turned physical. At a Harrington charity gala, Eliza tripped and pushed Sophia, causing her to fall. "Clumsy girl," she sneered. Sophia sprained her ankle, but the real pain was the humiliation as guests stared. Ethan minimized it. "Family's just testing you." Sophia began documenting everything. Texts, emails, recordings on her phone. She confided in her mother, who advised, "Fight back, mija. Don't let them break you." Sophia contacted a lawyer, a pro bono firm specializing in family law, and started building a case. The family struck harder. Reginald pressured Ethan to sign a postnup excluding Sophia from assets. "For the child's sake," he lied. Ethan, under duress, agreed, but Sophia found out. "You chose them over us," she cried. The marriage cracked. The courtroom battle. Sophia filed for divorce, citing emotional abuse, harassment, and coercion. The Harringtons laughed it off, hiring a team of high-powered attorneys. "She's a gold digger," their narrative went. But Sophia's lawyer was sharp. In court, the evidence poured out. Recordings of bribe offers, doctored reports, witness testimonies from the gala fall. The judge, a no-nonsense woman, was incensed. "This is not a family. It's a cartel," she said. The ruling was swift. Divorce granted, Sophia awarded custody, a $10 million settlement from the trust, deemed marital due to Ethan's contributions, and damages for harassment. The backlash was swift. Media headlines screamed, Harrington heir's beauty bride wins big in court. Family empire shaken. Stocks tumbled, partners fled. Reginald faced IRS audits from leaked fraud hints. Victoria's social world collapsed. Invites dried up. Marcus and Eliza's careers suffered from the stain. Ethan, alone in his apartment, regretted everything. I lost the best thing in my life, he admitted. Sophia moved to Brooklyn with her son Lucas. With the settlement, she opened an art studio, mentoring underprivileged kids. Her beauty, once a curse, became her strength. She modeled for campaigns promoting empowerment. Years later, as the Harrington empire crumbled further, Sophia watched from afar, her life a testament to resilience. Ethan reached out once, begging forgiveness. Too late, she said. Time had backfired on the saboteurs. Thanks for watching this story.